This is my Minecraft survival world in the new 1.20 update. And in the last episode, we went on a quest to fix this diamond axe. And the way that we were going to do it is by building this beautiful, beautiful library that was supposed to house my enchanting setup and a librarian that hopefully would sell us some mending to fix the axe. But unfortunately, last episode, I did run out of time to work on the inside of the house, and I also didn't have time to add a villager in there. So that is going to be our plan for today. Put that back in the chest nice and safe so that we can start working on the inside already. Now, of course, the first thing I think that's pretty blatant is that we don't even have a floor, so let's start there. I'm thinking it would look kind of cute if we did a mixture of the spruce slabs and another little bit of mangrove slabs, kind of like this. And then the next thing we need is a second floor as well, which I think we can do by adding some logs. And then after the logs, we can go up a layer with some mangrove slabs and up even slightly more of a layer with some spruce trapdoors. That'll give us a nice curved roof downstairs while still keeping it flat upstairs. And now that we have the floors complete for both levels, I think it's time to start decorating the first floor. And my concept here is that we have the first floor as our area that we can trade with our villager, and then our second floor as our enchanting setup. So I think the first thing that I want to do here is make it look like a little bit of a cafe by adding in a little bit of a table right here. And I think a flower pot will fit in a little bit better. And then I think we can also add in a nice polished countertop using some of our andesite. And let's start this countertop right here. And I think behind the countertop is where I'm gonna have the villager. So in that concept, I need a way to make him not leave this area. And I think the way I want to do that is actually take these trapdoors and we're going to use them kind of how I did over at the blacksmith and put them just below the door so that the villagers aren't able to get out, but we can get in. That way we don't have to trap him behind the counter, but he won't be wandering around our world getting lost. And then right in these corners, we can probably add some cute little shelves just like this. And this would actually probably be a good spot to put our pickles. And then we can just move the shelves up a little bit. Nice and cute. We'll have to figure out what to put on that one. And then I think this wall kind of makes it look like it's supposed to be able to be pushed out. Like this is like the employees only gate. It's not actually very functional, but for now, I think it will do. And I think we can also add a cute little flower pot on that shelf. And if we go pick a flower out here, like this one, we can add a little bit of brightness to that shelf. And next, I also want it to feel kind of like the space is cozy, cute library, but a little bit run down. And technically, the librarian is supposed to be magic guy of some sort. So the village, all the villagers know is that he makes everything shiny. So we must make his workspace a little bit shiny as well. And just for a pop of color, I'm thinking we can add some moss carpet back here. That way the villagers' feet don't get too sore as he's working all day. And then we can also add a couple little bar stools up front. Kind of like that. And then if we make ourselves a sign, I don't know if we can actually do this, but might as well try it out. We can try to put them on all three sides. So it kind of looks like a bar stool. And it looks good right there, but I'm not going to be able to put the sign on that side. So I think we're just going to stick with these signs right on the back of the seats so that they look like little stools. And then next, I'm trying to figure out how we can make kind of like a register. So I think if we add a slab and a little bit of a sign right here, it should give that effect. And then we can just make a list of all the things that the library sells. So we've got like books for $897. Spells can be 0.0002 cents. Those are nice and easy for, you know, the casual librarian. Totally not a wizard. So those can be pretty cheap. And since we're growing them anyways, we might as well put the glow berries up for sale as well. Those we can put for $2. And finally, we're gonna put the chicken for $0 that the librarian keeps trying to get rid of. I don't know why. He's so cute. I also hooked him up behind the counter so he can kind of float over there if he wants. I think either that or he's kind of trapped behind there right now. But he can eventually be in charge of tending the counter and apparently popping out some eggs. This is now a breakfast joint too. But the last thing that I think this is missing is, of course, the whole point of a library, the books. So I don't actually have enough books to make a whole bunch of bookshelves for the downstairs, but I think a good alternative is to make a chiseled bookshelf. And for that, we're just going to need wood, which is way, way easier. So we can go ahead and craft about 8 of those. And of course, it's not gonna look much like a bookshelf without some books. Then we can come back here. I think this carpet would actually look a little bit better, scooted up just by 1 block. So we can put it right there instead. And then that makes room for our chiseled bookshelves in the back, just like that. And we have this impaling 5 book that I don't think I'm gonna be using for anytime soon. So we might as well put that in the corner right there. And then we can just kind of randomly fill up these shelves as well, so that it's at least got some pops of color when you look at it. But I don't want to fill it completely because I do need a lot of these books for upstairs when we actually do our enchanting setup. And I just realized that I was trying to figure out how to do a cash register kind of looking thing, and I have the lectern that I still have to set up in here somewhere. So maybe we put it right there. It kind of fills that gap and kind of fits in with the bookshelves, so that way we still get to keep our register, because otherwise I'd have to redesign a register to look like the lectern, and that would be kind of hard. I think we're going to stick with that back there so that the librarian can still be a librarian down here. Next, now that we've got a good setup going downstairs with the cute little chicken, I think it's time we start building upstairs. And I think I'm just going to start by connecting this wall right here. That way we don't accidentally fall down there. And then we can come down here and craft ourselves up all of our bookshelves that we can make, which so far is 5. Not too bad of a start, but we're definitely gonna have to get some more. And I'm thinking I probably want to plan this out before I start setting down bookshelves, because I don't have silk touch. So I want to do like some storage area over here, just some decorations in general, but just somewhere that allows us to store some extra books that we've enchanted, all of our lapis and things like that. And then over in this corner, I actually want to put these set up kind of in a corner like that. So if we slowly replace this right here with some books, then eventually we'll have a full enchanting setup. And now for some storage, I think I want to go for some barrels. That way we can put some up here, just like that, and fill in underneath the stairs. And then we can also come up here and start filling them in like this. That way we've got lots of storage downstairs and in the corner. And I think the final touch that I want to do, now that we've added a lot of greenery on the inside, is I'd like to make the outside look similar. And I think I can accomplish that with some vines here and there all around the build like this. And before I head to the back area of the build, I would like to add some on the top as well, just like that. And then I also collected a bunch of oak leaves that we can use try to make the build look a little bit more rundown, kind of like that. And I think with that, the build is officially ready on the inside and out to add our villager. That chicken is so adorable. I'm so glad I added him. So if we go ahead and grab our lectern right here, we can use that to persuade our villager to come live in the library for the rest of his life. Totally casual, you know? How would you like to be my permanent resident librarian? Oh, he became a fisherman. That was, no, gonna have to break these for 2 seconds so that he actually picks the librarian profession. Yeah, there he goes. He loves it already. Him and his chicken. Now all I need to do is just lock him in there. And now I can just sit here and re-roll his trades over and over again. Aha! Okay, perfect. So I don't actually have enough emeralds to lock in a mending trade, but I can lock in the bookshelf trade if I get 2 more emeralds. So you stay there, I will be back. And I think I'm gonna have to go trade with this guy. I'm not sure what he wants, but we just need 2 more emeralds, and that shouldn't be too hard. So he, if we roll his trades a little bit, he apparently can only do selling axes, which isn't making us any money, so that's not gonna help, or coal, which we sell to him. So I think we're gonna have to go for the coal. Thank you, good sir. I will be back with some coal. And I think I should have some in my furnaces, just like this. You wanted 15. Okay, so we got 1 more emerald, and now we just need 8 more coal, and we should be okay. Unfortunately, I don't have any in my chests, so it looks like we're gonna have to go coal mining for a second. And here's some right here, and a little bit more right here. And that definitely gave us the 15 that we needed, so we should be good to head back up to the surface, where we can then trade with this guy for our last emerald, and then we can head on in here where hopefully he saved his trade. Yes, he did. Okay, and then by buying this bookshelf, we therefore lock in that mending trade. So we have a mending villager and a chicken. I think the chicken's my favorite part of this video. So we're eventually gonna have to work towards those 20 emeralds for every single one of our items, but that shouldn't be too hard. Now the next thing that I want to do is go on a mega mining trip, because we need a lot of coal, so that we can trade with our blacksmith over there for some emeralds that we can use to buy a mending book for our axe. And then we're also going to need a couple of diamonds. 1 to replace the shovel that we lost last episode, and then another diamond so that we can make an enchanting table upstairs. So with those goals in mind, let's head back down into the caves. So first up, we'll grab a bunch of coal, and I'm gonna need a total of 5 stacks of coal, so we might be down here a while. I think my least favorite things is the skeleton spawners, to be honest, because they just are so chaotic. Our first bow of the series. Oh, I could have used that in the last episode when we accidentally triggered that raid, but you know, that's a lot of skeletons. That's okay though. At least skeletons are idiots and they just like shoot each other the whole time. And let's see. Diamond horse armor, another name tag, that'll be fun. Cat. And cat. Not too much interesting things, but we definitely will be able to go home and use that name tag on one of our animals. And I think I might grab the coordinates of this since it's pretty close to the base. That way if we ever want to do like an XP farm or something, or a bone farm, we can always come back to it. So now we're starting to get into deep slate area where it's probably going to be much better for diamonds, but right now I mostly need coal. So I'm actually going to see if I can start heading a little bit farther up so that we still get some coal to spawn. And then eventually we'll make our way down so that we can grab some diamonds. Ooh, geode is definitely interesting. Might grab a few materials from this, but I'm not going to spend too much time because that's not the goal of the episode. So again, probably just going to take those coordinates, and if we need them, we'll come back. That was close. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm almost out of food and pretty much out of time for this episode. And unfortunately, I only got like 2 stacks of coal, but that's definitely good progress. So I think I'm going to head to the surface and head back home. Then we can head over to our blacksmith and we should be good to trade all of our coal for some emeralds. And in total, that got us about 8 emeralds, which isn't too bad considering that was our first mining trip trying to get some emeralds. And honestly, with how much effort that was, I might just go find another villager and turn him into a fletcher. Probably a lot quicker because we need 20 emeralds and we're definitely not getting anywhere close to that anytime soon. But unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for this episode. So if you did happen to enjoy, please consider subscribing because I would love to see you guys in the next episode. And speaking of next episodes, here's a couple that I think that you would enjoy.